El Camino, written and directed by Breaking Bad creator Vince Gilligan, picks up after the events of Breaking Bad, where Jesse Pinkman is on the run from the police. The police are searching for Jesse due to his connections to Heisenberg and his role in creating and distributing Blue Sky, the meth that took the underbelly of society by storm in Breaking Bad. As Jesse attempts to flee from the police and start over somewhere new, he runs into some problems along the way. Alright, so El Camino seemingly came out of nowhere. I mean, the fact that everyone involved was able to keep a Breaking Bad movie under wraps for so long really just amazes me. I mean, it's widely considered one of the best television shows ever created, and I'd argue that it's still a pretty high-profile show with a lot of dedicated fans that would be interested should something like El Camino exist. Still, when the first trailer dropped, I was really excited. I mean, personally, I think Breaking Bad is the best TV show ever created. I mean, the characters are great, the story is always engaging, and when I heard that Vince Gilligan was actually going to be writing and directing El Camino, I was in. All I needed to know was that he was doing it and that Aaron Paul was back, and at that point, my body was ready. I wasn't sure what to expect because, I didn't really know much about El Camino going in. The trailers never really showed that much, but I walked away very satisfied with what El Camino delivered. I think, honestly, it just feels like a longer episode of Breaking Bad, which isn't a bad thing at all because it manages to maintain the feel and the tone of Breaking Bad, which is obviously something that you want to do with a film like this. I do want to note, though, that if you haven't seen all of Breaking Bad, I really don't think this movie is for you. I mean, it relies very heavily on what's been established with these characters in the past, and it really is just an extenuation of one of the major character stories in Jesse. I think that when you view it through the lens of Breaking Bad, and what's to come, what's come before this film, then I think it's great. But if you were to view it as an isolated story, it really wouldn't make much sense to you. I think that El Camino overall, though, does a really great job at making Jesse's situation feel frantic. The whole film feels like it's constantly moving because Jesse is frantically trying to find an escape route by any means necessary. And you begin to feel as paranoid as he does because there are a lot of people out looking for him, and not just the police. And anytime he goes somewhere to try to, aid his escape route, you get worried that someone's just waiting right around the corner for him. The gripping feeling that Breaking Bad often provided is present here once again. And I think that in large part is due to Vince Gilligan that was clearly making a pretty concerted effort to make the world and characters feel consistent. Aaron Paul also does a really good job playing the character in a way that's still likable despite his flaws, and ultimately a character that you want to root for, even though he does some bad stuff. I think El Camino probably doesn't do as much as I would have liked for Jesse's character because I wanted to see maybe a little bit more development thrown his way as he progresses into the next stage of his life. This is very much a simplistic, bare-bones story that's focused on Jesse's escape from the aftermath of what happened in the Breaking Bad finale. His goal is to escape and, to start new, and that's about it. There's not really much more to it than that. I mean, I really enjoyed the film a lot, but I did find myself wanting to see if Vince Gilligan could, have developed Jesse's character a bit further and taught us something new about him. Basically, everything we see from Jesse are things we mostly already knew about him, albeit with a great performance from Aaron Paul. So I'm not going to complain that much about it. I think there are definitely some fan service moments in here, though, which I have no problem with whatsoever. As long as fan service makes sense for the story being told, I'm not going to complain about it. Making your fans feel fulfilled is part of the entertainment process. You want them to connect with the story in a way that makes them, feel something, happiness or otherwise. You want to give them some moments that they want to see and that they'll remember from a film like this. El Camino does that with new scenes and also some flashbacks that add a bit of context to relationships, dynamics, and just characters as a whole. El Camino does a great job providing a bit of the old and a bit of the new, and it strikes the right balance between those two things pretty well. Something you may not expect from El Camino is comedy. I mean, I don't think Breaking Bad is particularly known for its comedy. I mean, there were some funny scenes here and there, but El Camino actually, makes a more concerted effort to mix comedy into the story in a way that adds a little bit of fun to the overall package. It doesn't get in the way, it doesn't feel out of place or anything like that. It works and it doesn't, negatively impact the drama of the story. There's a lot of good performances in this film, a few comedic ones included, but the dialogue really does help tremendously in all of it. I think one thing Breaking Bad is known for is its quotable lines, and El Camino delivers the same quality of writing again. I've always appreciated what Vince Gilligan does in terms of making the characters have a consistent identity on the page. They say things that are consistent with their character, and each character feels unique in their own ways. The conversations between the characters also feel really natural, and like they fit their, lifestyle the characters are leading. The dialogue, has always been one of the bright spots of this universe, and in El Camino, it's one of the bright spots here again. Overall, though, I am satisfied with what El Camino delivered. And, I do have a few slight problems with it, if you could call it that, but I think that if you like Breaking Bad, you will like this film too. As for the pros cons, for the pros, I think El Camino delivered a great leading performance from Aaron Paul, great dialogue, lots of suspense and tension, and quality comedy. It also fits well within the Breaking Bad universe, so there's that too. As for the cons, I would have liked to see a bit more development for Jesse as a character by opening up the story a bit more. Still, I'm satisfied, and I'm going to give El Camino a 9 out of 10 and recommend you check it out on Netflix if you've seen all of Breaking Bad. If you haven't seen all 5 seasons of Breaking Bad, I do that before you watch El Camino. So did you guys watch El Camino yet? What did you think of it? And if not, let me know why not. Also, let me know your overall thoughts on Breaking Bad. I still hold the belief that it's the best television show ever created, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Either way, this is WillFoxification signing off. See you in the next review.